I'm having hurricanes.
He's like, well, when I used to play. It's like, yeah, you were shit. You were shit when you used to play. All right, Cleberson, we need you to say tight to the centre mid. No problem. In fact, I've just married her. So. He's fucking poo. He's awful at that shit. Okay, sounds a bit shit for a Brazilian. How old's his missus?
Exciting news, our friends over at Manscaped have just launched their 4th generation performance package, and that includes the Lawnmower 4.0. 4.0? That's right. The Lawnmower 4.0, which includes a 7,000 RPM motor to take care of your spuds when you need it most. Make sure you join 2 million men who trust Manscaped, and you can do that by going to manscaped.com and getting 20% off and free shipping using the code Paddock20. We've all had it where you're trying to trim downstairs, you've got a big date coming up, it's your Valentine's, it's the anniversary, you need to look spick and span down there. But what happens? You end up using your mum's hair scissors, you end up trying to do something weird, getting a blowtorch out of the shed, using an axe that your dad uses to chop wood for the fire. None of that's going to work. You're going to cut yourself, you're going to nick yourself. We've all been there, using the scissors to try and go around your balls like some sort of weird stencil. It's not going to work. You're going to nick them, and you're going to really regret ever trying to make it a DIY job. That's where Manscaped comes in. Look at this. This, quite simply put, is the greatest device in trimming your pubes that has ever existed. It's a Lawnmower 4.0. It's got a 7,000 RPM motor, and the best thing about it is the anti-nick technology. You can see that there. Anti-nick technology, right? What that means is that you're not going to catch your spuds when you're trying to clean up in your trousers. Make sure you check out Manscaped. Again, it's not just this. They've got this, the Crop Reviver. This is what you put on. You're going straight out after work. It's in your work bag. Let me just nip to the toilet. Let me just freshen up. You got this bad boy, the Crop Preserver, straight out of the shower, pop it on. Deodorant for under the arms, Crop Preserver for under the garms. You know what I mean? You know it is. And one of the best things about the Lawnmower 4.0 is that it's waterproof. So you can do it in the shower, you can do it over the sink, you can do it at a public pool if you really want to. You might get kicked out, but you can do it there. That's the thing. Shave your pubes out in the rain if you want to. If that's what your thing is, you've got some weird fetish where you get in your truck, you drive out to a hillside, get in the flatbed, wait for it to rain, trim your pubes. This thing isn't going to electrocute you, and you're fine to do that because that's your property. Or just do it in the shower like I do. It's fantastic, easy clear up, and you don't have to worry about it breaking. And not just does that mean, yes, I can do it in the shower. It also means it's easy to clean because you get in there, sometimes you get your little brush, trying to do it, trying to blow on it, get your little pubes out. No one wants that. Run it under the tap, it's clean, perfect to be stored away. So, you know what, your mum don't find it or your missus don't find it. Or she might use it, to be honest. So make sure you check out manscaped.com. Again, use the code Paddock20 at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. Thank you once again to Manscaped for sponsoring the podcast. Back to the show, lads.
Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Mckola and Freddy Uncensored on Stretford Paddock. How you doing, lad?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
Welcome to...
Thanks for having us in your upstairs room.
With your pint of vodka?
Yeah, mate. It's 11:45. I'm 3 days into a vegan diet. I'm turning fucking alcoholic.
That does count as veganism, right?
What,
vodka?
Water?
Vodka's vegan.
Oh, right, vodka.
That's vodka, not water. Don't...
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to ruin the illusion.
Yeah, don't ruin the illusion.
I think vodka is vegan. I think all alcohol's vegan. Actually, of course it is. Why are we even debating this? Beer. When have you ever had bacon vodka? Do you know what I mean? Excuse me, can I have my vodka medium rare? What the fuck are we talking about? Is vodka vegan? Yes, it is.
Oh, man, are you hungry at the moment?
Starving. I'm literally fucking starving.
Do you want to explain what your mate has done? I don't know if you consider him a friend anymore. Do you?
Well, it's a her and no. She challenged me. I interviewed her on this podcast, my other podcast, and she challenged me to go vegan for a week, right? And I was like, yeah, I can do that, piece of piss. And she's got a company where she makes vegan meals that you can just heat up in the microwave, whatever. And I was like, mate, someone's going to give me a week's worth of food for free? Yes. Now, look, I'm very grateful to her for giving me the meals, but I've had 7 meals now, and I've
today. Starving, I need to keep eating.
Yeah, I'm treating it like tapas. I'm just going through it. Now, I've had 7 meals over the course of 3 days, and one of them has been nice.
What was nice?
So it was like a Mediterranean pasta.
Okay,
that
so
was nice.
Pasta's
right?
easy, isn't it?
And then one of them has been edible, and then the rest have been fucking appalling. Like, they've been so bad. Today, I had, it was like a blackberry thing in like wallpaper paste, and I had 2 bites of it, and it was just so acidic that I was on the car on
Is
the
it for
way
people
here.
that can't have solids? They can't have solids. No solids for him. Yeah, just tube up that blackberry paste.
It did taste like that. It tasted like baby food for a baby you didn't want. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's going to resent this
I
child
want social
forever.
services to get around here. Sharpish. Keep feeding him that.
Yeah.
As you can see, we've jumped straight into Uncensored. I'm here with Freddy. We'll be here every single week. We're going to be talking about maybe some things that are football, maybe some things that aren't football, like the vegan blackberry paste that Freddy's been eating. But we have got loads to get stuck into today. And I just want to see where we end up going with this, because there's some funny stories out there. First one being, where do we start? Fred is unavailable for this weekend.
So I don't know about this, so tell me this.
Right. So, if you hadn't heard, just before the international break, we were told, remember Cavani was like, what do you mean I can't go on international
Oh,
duty?
yeah.
Who do you lot think I am? And we all heard he's going to have to miss 10 games.
3 Spurs players fucked off, didn't they?
Yeah.
Lo Celso, Romero, who's literally just been there for 10
Christian
minutes,
Romero.
was like,
Yeah.
fuck this shit.
So those guys are part of the problem. So what they did was, the Argentinian lads went away with Argentina. The Brazilian lads were told they couldn't go away.
Yeah.
And those lads, Lo Celso, Romero, and the 2 lads from Villa, Buendia and Martinez,
Yeah.
upon arrival in Brazil,
Yeah.
when you get the form,
Yeah.
have you been in the UK in the last couple of weeks? They went,
No.
nope.
Fuck off.
So they've
Sorry,
said
you
no.
4 football players haven't
Yeah.
been in the UK.
So where was Aston Villa versus Brentford?
We played it in Paris, that one. It was a neutral fixture.
Yeah. So they told them that, you know, we weren't in the UK. And then this is what's happened.
Hang about a minute, just to sort of stop this, right? If you work at an airport, right, you know that that's the Argentina footballers coming in, because that's a big deal if you work at an airport. So you'd know who the players were, and you go, you're fucking Christian Romero. You play for Tottenham. What the fuck are you talking about? You've not been in it. How did no one spot that?
Yeah, exactly.
How shit is Brazil?
And
that you
here's
can
the
just-
thing.
Nope.
Here's the thing. So what happened from there was, not on the day that they arrived did that get pulled up. Not the day after,
Yeah.
or on the day of the game, when the game had kicked off.
Oh, I saw like 8 minutes
So
in.
you had health officials running onto the pitch trying to stop the game because they got held up in traffic. They couldn't get there before the game. All this weird stuff. So then you start to think, hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But then Brazil got fed up because they weren't allowed to take their players out there. So what they've now done is they've gone, so hold on, these Argentinian players could travel. We were told no Brazilians could travel.
Yeah.
We're invoking a regulation that FIFA have set, which now says those clubs that rejected their players to travel can't play those players for 5 days.
What?
So for 5 days, which will include the Newcastle game and the Young Boys game in Switzerland,
Why are you fucking...
Fred is unavailable, and also you've got some players from other clubs who are unavailable.
Yeah, I bet I know who fucking tipped Brazil off. I bet I know who tipped Brazil off about that. Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek's agent was like...
Is this ice?
Hello, is that Brazil? Yeah. Yes, this is Alan Brazil. Oh, sorry, wrong number. Yo, that's Donny van der Beek's agent who's desperate to get him some game time.
You know what's funny? If after all this he still doesn't get a start?
He'll never start. Donny van der Beek could have a sex change and he wouldn't start for the women's team. That's how fucking much he is not started.
Cristiano Ronaldo started in midfield at the weekend because Donny van der Beek won't be
Oh,
allowed to
mate,
play.
if they pair Cristiano Ronaldo up with McTominay just as a fucking holding role, it would be such a swerve.
How hench is that? Because McTominay's got a bit...
He's a big lad, is McTominay, isn't he?
He's a good little...
He's a big lad.
I think that could be a better partnership then. Fred. But we do now know Fred is Brazilian. Because he's not allowed to play. And the Brazilian FA have come in.
We've got a history at United of signing shit Brazilians. We've just got...
Cool. Rafa.
Okay, one.
How many have
Fabio.
we signed? So we signed Fabio, Rafa, Anderson,
Cleberson.
God, the stories about Cleberson. You heard the story?
No, I've not heard the stories.
Do you know why his move to United was delayed?
Why? Why was his move to United delayed?
There is no allegedly required here.
Right.
He was waiting for his fiancée or his wife to reach of age to come to the UK.
No!
And no one ever mentions this.
No!
I swear to God.
So hang on. Well, do you know what? That's fucking mental because the same thing happened with a Watford player.
Every time I mention this, I get scared that I'm talking rubbish here, and I Google it. But every time it's still on Google.
The same thing happened with a Watford player. That João Pedro who plays for Watford. His fucking girlfriend was like 15 when he lived in the Premier League, which is why she.
When he lived in the Premier League.
Which is why she. When he was in the Championship, that's why she still lived in Brazil. What's the age of consent in Brazil?
I don't know. But it was bad times. He had to wait for her.
How old was he? He was about 25 when he moved, wasn't he?
Oh, God, that's worse, isn't it?
Do you know what, though, is what I always think with that is put, like, the sexual attraction out of it. What would you even have in common? Do you know what I mean? Like, what would you even... I mean, oh, babe, do you want to get pissed tonight? Sorry, I can't. I'm playing Roblox. What the fuck are you on about?
Here's an article, from before he joined United, and it said, and this is how everyone was going on about it like it was normal. And this isn't a funny situation as much as I keep laughing, it's because it's so shocking.
It is quite funny, though. like it is kind of funny.
But it goes, this was a story before he joined United.
Yeah.
World Cup winner, Cleberson's transfer to Leeds, moved a step closer last night after the Brazilian's 15-year-old girlfriend agreed to marry him.
Wow. Wow. So she's still doing her GCSEs. She's still... How the fuck is that teacher motivating her to learn Shakespeare? Look, you got to learn Romeo and Juliet, Juanita, whatever her name is. Mate, I'm just marrying a Premier League footballer. You can go fuck yourself.
What? Shouldn't we have pulled the plug on? I don't understand how we allowed that to happen. Let's pretend Cleberson didn't happen.
Right, okay.
Rafa, Fabio, and Anderson.
Okay.
And Fred. Oh.
Do you know what?
We get the
Anderson is
worst.
the one that really makes my heart sad. Because I looked at Anderson and I thought, fuck me, there's a potential worldie of a player there. And it just never came out. It just never came. Rafa was solid but unspectacular. Fabio was just fucking the shit fucking...
It's mad though, because Fabio was more highly regarded when they arrived at the club, which was crazy. Anderson as well, like, he was golden boy. Which is like the youth equivalent of the Ballon d'Or. Highly rated. Everyone was comparing him with Ronaldo and stuff like that. And then he come to United, won the double in his first year, was amazing, and it went to his head. And then he almost became like a defensive midfielder, didn't he?
Didn't he have a dreadful injury? Am I right in thinking he did his ACL or something?
He had a few, yeah.
He did a really bad one. He just wasn't the same player after that. But, I mean, do you know what? I feel a little bit sorry for Fred. And I get so much shit off United fans for this. But I have time for Fred. I don't think he's a good footballer. Christ knows how we spent 50 million quid on him. Who the fuck allowed that to happen? But he does try his hardest.
I think when they heard they didn't have to wait for his his wife to reach 16, they thought, it's 50 mil. The last midfielder we signed from Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean...
All right, Shakhtar Donetsk, who have you got? Fred. Okay, sounds a bit shit for a Brazilian. How old's his missus? 22. Great, let's have him.
Yeah. Remember the other Fred for Brazil? He was a striker.
Yes, played for
He
Lyon.
was awful as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, played for Lyon, didn't he?
Why are they just all awful, these Freds?
I think it's because if you're a Brazilian, if you're going to be good, it needs to be... Your name needs to end in an O. Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. That's what you need.
Lucio.
The more British American, the more British Brazilian names sound, the shitter they are.
Oscar.
There you go. There you go. Fred.
Oscar, Fred and Joe.
Yeah, exactly. All dog shit.
Who did Joe play
Cafu,
for
amazing.
again?
Carlos, fantastic.
Who did Joe play for again?
City.
He was
Yeah,
City,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
he? Yeah, he was.
He was at that time when City had just got money, but they had no idea how to spend it. And they were like, should we just buy anyone?
Elano is Brazilian.
Yeah, fuck it, let's have you. Let's have you. Who's managing it? Mark Hughes, that sounds great. Who's going to manage all these flair players? An angry Welshman, sorted.
Talking about Mark Hughes, the fella that is supposed to do the show with me once wrote an article about Hughes being United manager, potentially.
Really?
It's weird how football, like, our view of people changes as time goes by. Although at the time I knew that was bonkers.
Mark Hughes is a potential United manager. there's some managers, and I think Mark Hughes is one of them, where you just have nothing for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, Tony Pulis is another one.
Yeah.
It's just like, in my head, Mark Hughes is in the Sam Allardyce, Tony Pulis bracket.
Did you not think he was a little bit better than that, though? Because was it Blackburn where he did?
Did all right, Blackburn.
It wasn't it?
Did all right at...
What, for Wales, was it?
He did okay, but Stoke. What did he do at Stoke?
Yeah.
Apart from just slowly fucking
He
took him down and made him
City,
shitter.
Did he get sacked by City? I think that rattled his head, you know.
Yeah, so he got, as far as I remember, he got sacked by City, but he wasn't doing too bad. But it was at the time when City were like, look, we've just bought Robinho and look at the state of your cheeks. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at you, Mark Hughes. Look at you, you know. We want to get fucking Manuel Pellegrini, you know, whoever it is that
Look at him. We know he looks rough, but Mark. Pellegrini looks like, remember the Art Attack guy?
Yeah.
Just the head.
Yeah.
Talking in the thing that was defo.
Right, so Fred's Fred's not allowed to play for 5 days now. He'll miss the Newcastle game, which we don't really need him for.
Yeah.
And he'll miss the Young Boys game, which, again, we don't really need him for. Is it that bad?
There was a joke in there about
Yeah, there is a joke. If we were playing against young girls, we get Cleberson back in the side. All right, Cleberson, we need you to say tight to the centre mid. No problem. In fact, I've just married her, so...
I'm in. You deserve this, Cleberson. You don't deserve to get away with this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's... I don't even know what I was talking. Yeah, no Fred.
So he's not... Look, the thing
is...
Has
Matic just become really important?
No. He's not, though, is he? Like, look, I mean, I'd imagine that Matic would be in contention to start at least one of those games anyway. What with the fact that they're both going to sit back, aren't they? They're both going to sit back, try and hit us on the counter, and just not get twatted. That's going to be the tactic. And Matic is good at ball distribution, sitting back and stuff. He can drop back to form a back three and let Shaw push up, and you know that's what's going to happen. I mean, I'd love to see Donny van der Beek, but it's just never ever going to happen. Why did we buy him? What?
It felt like a signing where we thought Pogba was going, and then we thought, all right. But then to just not give him a chance is mad to me.
Yeah.
And you left there thinking, what's going on here? But then, obviously, we've seen the interview that Donny did last week, and you look at it and you think, is he a player that's kind of been told what's going on and he's got his development, but then there's talk about him wanting to go to Everton and all those kind of things. So I just kind of feel Ollie don't fancy him, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll find out this weekend, won't we?
It's mad that as a player, though, isn't it? Because, like, you look at the England setup at the moment, Sancho can't get a game for love nor money, and he'll happily play Saka, who I think is totally overrated. I think he's massively overrated.
I think he's a
he's an alright player. He's a good young player.
I think he'd get into the squads of most teams in the top four, but he wouldn't be starting for United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Oh no, 100%. And also as well,
maybe not even Leicester.
He's not as good as Sancho. He's not as good as Greenwood. Look at what's Sancho done. Like, he's had a couple of good games. He's not a world beater. You look at what Mason Greenwood has done over the space of 2 or 3 years. He's established himself as one of, if not the best young teenager on the planet. Same with Jadon Sancho. 3 seasons in a row, 15 plus goals, 15 plus assists.
20 even.
And then you're looking at Saka, who's getting ahead of both of them, and he's had a few all right games.
I think he's got 1 assist in like 12 Premier League games. And again, I know he can play defensively as well, but that's not where he's playing. And I think that does tell you more about Southgate rather than the players. When rather than that telling me about Sancho, the fact that he picks Saka ahead of those players to me suggests that he's looking for certain things from players, and he gets it from Saka. He wants people to just work hard all the time, doesn't he? And to me, I don't rate that. I want the best players on the pitch.
And
Jadon Sancho is one of those. But it's mad as well that people have just started I don't know if it's because we got Varane and Ronaldo, but everyone started talking about Sancho as if he's some scrubber. Like,
it's mental.
He's only been here a week.
He's a world class player. Or if he's not world class, he's on the cusp of being world class. I honestly think that United's transfer window is sat on a little bit by people. We've signed 2, arguably 3 world class players in the 3 positions that we need the most. Yeah.
Because if you look at, if you compare Sancho to other wingers, they're world class numbers, right? And over a good period of time as well.
Oh yeah, he's in the same echelon with those numbers as Hazard, and
he's been ahead of Hazard. I think there was one season, not last season, the season before, where only Messi had more goal contributions than him. Yeah. It's like the joke.
Yeah,
the kid's just phenomenal, and I think it's kind of good for them as well when you've got Ronaldo and Varane coming and everyone looking at them. No one's talking about Sancho no more.
Well, this is it. It takes a bit of pressure off him, but the numbers don't lie, do they? 15 plus goals and 15 plus assists every season for 3 seasons. I mean, can you name the last United player that was hitting 15s in a season? Mate, he's got great numbers. He's going to be a great signing. I love how as well, bless his heart, I love how Jesse Lingard's like, I played well 8 times for West Ham last season. I think I'm still got a fucking chance.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Because he's a United fan, isn't it? Like us. Yeah. Do you think he was possibly going to leave, and then he saw, Ronaldo's here. Fucking hell, I'm staying.
Think I'm going to stay.
I want a picture with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I want to celebrate with him. And I could possibly play with him as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to get that. Then I'll leave.
I reckon a week before he was on the phone to Moisey. Yes, Mr. Moyes. I'm really happy to team up with Thomas Souček. He's a fantastic... Oh, Aaron Cresswell. What a character in the dressing. Sorry, I'm getting another call. Fucking Ronaldo. Yeah, fuck off, David. Fuck off, Moisey.
Because he must look at Van der Beek as well and think, I'll play ahead of him. You know what I mean? Jesse must back himself to do that. So
do you know what?
I'm not surprised.
I really... You try and get on board with every United player, do you know what I mean? Because they're your players or whatever. I find it really hard to like Jesse Lingard. I really don't like him.
I love him.
Do you? What is it you like about him?
I like him as a person. I think he's a good lad.
I don't.
What?
I don't like this whole I'm Jay Lings bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't like the whole I'm a fucking brand. Look at me, I'm launching a clothing range. That's 24 hours after we got...
That's the game now, isn't it?
No.
That's
no,
the
it's
sport
not. Because you don't see Rafael Varane doing that. You don't see Bruno Fernandes doing that. Those are proper professionals who are like, look, I get paid to play football. I'm going to be the best football player I can be. Now, look, if Bruno Fernandes sets up a clothing line, good for him, because he's fucking killing it on the pitch. I'll be honest, he doesn't look like he'd be particularly fashionable, does he? Yeah. Doesn't look like it'd be a lot of fucking... dark T-shirts, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? It's, it'd be...
He's got those keychains from his pocket.
I'll tell you what it'd be. It'd be those dark T-shirts with a pocket that's a different colour. That's what it'd be. He'd wear T-shirts with slogans on them like sex, drugs and sausage rolls. That's... FBI Federal Booby Inspector. That'd be Bruno Fernandes' clothing line. But if he wanted to set that up, good for him, because he's killing it on the pitch. But when you're Lingard, and he was playing as bad as he was for United, dreadfully for years, then I'm sorry, but your reaction to that shouldn't be to set up a different business. Your reaction should be to throw everything into being the football player first.
I totally get that angle, and I see why people think that way. But I also think if we take our emotional attachment to the club and everything out of the situation, Jesse Lingard is, one, protecting his future. Two, whether we think, he's not playing well, ultimately, he's a professional footballer at the top of his game. And I think these kind of things are just part and parcel of it. And he's not going to be there sewing clothes himself. He's not going to be there doing all that. I think ultimately it gives people around him jobs, his family jobs as well. I don't have an issue with that, as long as you deliver on the pitch. And I think that's it. That's the important thing. I agree with that. He never delivered on the pitch for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
But he also had a lot of other things going on. And there was periods before that, under Mourinho, where the guy was amazing.
I think it's football player first, whatever the fuck you want to do second.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Do you know what I
totally
mean?
Hear that.
And I'd even take that as far as Marcus Rashford. Feed as many kids as you want, as long as you're playing well. Do you know what I mean?
But I think as well, it's like when people say to you, I know you're not a professional footballer, so you don't have to, worry about X, Y, and Z. But if you were doing a comedy route, if you've got a show every week, or every other weeknight, but then in the daytime, you've got you got a YouTube channel, and someone's going, mate, focus on your comedy, not your YouTube channel. You'd be like, bro, I can do both. I don't have to juggle one or two. I can do both.
But the reason that I would be making a YouTube channel is to have extra income, because I wouldn't have you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, if comedy was paying me 100 grand a week, I'd be sticking with that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, I hear you.
So that's it for me.
I think most people would agree with you as well.
And also as well, I think it's how he conducts himself. And when you're that laughy, jovial, I'm Jay Lings, everybody, it's like, all right, cool, but you still have to play well. And act, when he's not playing well, it looks like his personality looks to me like he's not taking it seriously. I know that might not be the case. It's just how he's always come across to me.
I think that's a dangerous thing for him as well. In the sense that everyone, and he's spoken about his mental health issues and all those kind of things, that because people expect this Jesse Lingard, how do you open yourself up and show weakness or show it's a weird one. But I know where you're coming from, and I think most people sat at home will know. What do you think about him potentially rejecting a contract, which has been the story? Do you think that's the right thing for him to do, given where he's standing in the squad?
I think the right thing for him to do would have been to fuck off to West Ham. I think that's the right thing that he should have done. If he genuinely wanted to safeguard his future or whatever, instead of setting up daft clothing brands and shit, go to West Ham, where you were playing well. And Jesse Lingard is made for a team like West Ham. He's not made for a team like United. And the reason that he shone so well in that West Ham team is because that team plays to his strengths, which is running about a lot, pressing, hitting people on the counter. Jesse Lingard is a fucking athlete. He'll run all day. He's quick, he presses, he's good at that shit. Technically, when it comes to holding a ball and sort of picking the right pass and having a good first touch and laying the ball off and making clever little interplays and movements and stuff, he's fucking poo. He's awful at that shit. And so if you're United and you need to break a team down, he's the worst person for it. But when do West Ham ever need to break a team down? Who the fuck? Which manager goes, fucking hell, lads, it's fucking Declan Rice this week. We better stay off. Do you know what I mean? West Ham are always a team that doesn't matter if you're a good team or you're fucking Watford or something like that. You're always going to go at West Ham because you feel like you can beat them. And that is going to leave space for Lingard to run into, and that's what he likes doing, running. He was playing well at West Ham. He was enjoying his football. People were talking about Lingard at West Ham as if, God almighty, he might be in England. And he turns his back on that. And then when United offer him a contract, he fucking says nah. And so he's going to leave for free next year.
That's what I think is a big fact there is, one, he's probably thinking, I'm not going to sign a deal unless I'm getting played. 2, he's probably thinking, this is my last chance at a United career. Very slim, like you say, given the competition that he's got ahead of him. But then he's also got that carrot of, if you go on a free, you've got a massive signing on fee.
Yeah.
And I think we can't overlook that. And as a Man United fan, he's probably thinking, I can go West Ham now, or I can have another year at the club that I love and get a lucrative free move at the end of it.
Yeah,
but it probably...
If that's it, but
is
that's
his thinking.
kind of selling the club that you love down the river a little bit.
Well,
because you're just thinking about
couldn't
yourself.
he argue that they're doing that to him if they're not using him, not playing him?
because it's not like we're not playing him and he's a great player. We're not playing him because he's not good enough at football. So, look, get better and then you'll get more games. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're selling him down the river and we're not playing him even though he's incredibly talented and great. He's just not good enough. He's just not good enough to play in any of the positions.
Unfortunately, I think it is the case.
If I was, look, so...
He won't start every week.
I'm a comedian and a comedy fan, right? Let's just say I'm backstage in a green room, right? And in that green room, there is all the best fucking comedians in the country. There's Kevin Bridges, there's Rod Gilbert, there's Michael McIntyre, there's fucking John Richardson, there's John Bishop, there's Jason Manford, and there's me. And they come in, the manager comes in and goes, right, we need 3 of you for a lineup tonight. I'm like, probably not getting picked here. But then if someone else came and said, look, we've got we're just down the road. We'd actually quite like for you to come tonight, Freddie, but it's with some fucking randoms. Like, how many years do I get to go, I'll just stop here and chill with the fucking lads? Do you know what I mean? Like, at what point do you go, yeah, I'm going to have to get game time? He's just not going to... He's like fucking nearly 30,
Gonna have to get on the mic.
Exactly. He's nearly 30 as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mate, what's he doing?
It's time to go for Jesse, apparently.
It's time to...
Let us know what you lot are thinking in the comments. Is he right to go for that free move? Do you want him to leave? Will he leave in January? Etc. etc. Now, I love Jesse, and we obviously don't agree here. So I'm going to bring something up now that I think we'll both agree with.
Okay.
So let's watch these pair of idiots.
Okay.
All right. Then.
Can you strike him? Is he the best striker in the world? Is he
I hate
right
this
up
guy.
there? I think he is, yeah. I think because of what's happened in the summer, Ronaldo coming to the Premier League and
They're talking about
I think
Kane.
forget about Harry Kane.
Oh,
his goal
God.
record in the Premier League, his performances last season, dropping off, his assists, his goals. I mean, if anyone in the Premier League...
Why doesn't Gabby Abongahor look like he's about to rob a
it's Harry Kane,
bookies?
isn't it? I've never seen someone finish like him recently. Who would you have in a final? In a cup final? Would you have Harry Kane?
Who are you having cup final? So Cockney
Harry
today.
Kane. To finish... Reece, who would you have in a final? In a cup final, would you have Harry Kane or Ronaldo? I'm having Harry Kane.
For what reason? For what reason are you having Harry Kane over Ronaldo? For what reason? Goals? He's not scored any in a cup final. Ronaldo scored loads.
He's played in 3-4 cup finals, not scored once. Ronaldo scored, I think, played in 22 finals, probably scored in all of them or something.
Also, he's not won anything ever in his whole career.
When did we start to say that's a Harry Kane thing?
Exactly. Exactly. What the fuck is he on about? I'd take 36-year-old Ronaldo now over most of the strikers in the world. I can't believe how much he gets shit on.
I can't believe how they get paid to be on national radio saying stuff like that.
It's fucking mental, isn't it? How do 2 ex-professional players know so little about the game? Can you imagine, fucking Heston Blumenthal and Gordon Ramsay sitting down being like, super noodles are great, aren't they? Fucking love beef monster munch, me. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, what are you talking about, Gordon, you weirdo?
No, it's... How can you think that? How can you possibly think? And that's the thing I'm struggling here with is are you looking for clicks here now? Because imagine getting on the world's biggest radio station or one of the world's biggest radio stations and going, right, now I need to be... You've got the platform, you don't need to be an idiot. It's bad. And I hate Jamie O'Hara as well.
Yeah.
Proper does my Sweden. Football players that will bang average and look, they're both better than me. But football players that were bang average that talk like they're a top or
Oh, yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
like Jermaine Genius.
Oh, my fucking God, Jermaine Genius does my head in. He's like, well, when I used to play. It's like, yeah, you were shit. You were shit when you used to play. That's what you have to say at the beginning. When I used to play badly, this is what would happen.
He did that to, I think it was Phil Neville. And I remember thinking, Phil, do not have that. He was like, yeah, you don't need to tell me how to play at midfield, Phil.
Oh, just give me a sec, Jamie, because I was just thinking about all the Premier League medals that I won. Sorry about
times
that.
I
Mate.
pocketed Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
Phil
Apologies.
Neville was the go-to against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And we played Neville and Giggs in midfield once, and it worked.
Hey, Jermaine, aren't FA Cups heavy? Oh, you don't know. You don't know about that, do you?
Have you ever lifted
It's so stupid
Champions League?
because they're debating something that doesn't require any debate.
Ronaldo's back this weekend. He actually signed at the same time as Cleberson.
Really?
It's almost like a...
Wait a minute.
So there's your thumbnail, Cleberson and Ronaldo.
When Ronaldo signed, wasn't he 17?
What's that? Where's this going?
I was just saying, because imagine like Cleberson looking next to him going, I know someone about your age. Like,
You doing your exams? Are you reading off Mice and Men yet?
yeah.
Because I've been reading it overnight.
I don't think they give mice and men in Brazil. Can you imagine? Do you not have any Portuguese books to read? No, you're reading John Steinbeck.
I can borrow you these Key Stage 3 GCSE books when we're finished if you want.
Doing it in the Brazilian sort of accent, reading it out in front of the class.
God.
George, tell me about the farm. Tell me about the farm we are going to live on when we're back.
That's not Brazilian.
No, it's not. It's more Mexican made, isn't it? That's how I imagine.
That's Consuelo, our family guy.
That's how I imagine Cleberson's wife to sound.
Yeah, when she's 70. She's in about 50 years. How long has this been going for and how much do we have to cut out? I think we have.
They have a coffee shop.
We're going to go to that.
It's called Cleberson's Coffee.
We're going to go. It's in
It's
Australia.
Australia. What?
I've got a strand called Chippy Chat where I interview people in like restaurant settings.
Yeah.
Should
we
we
go
go
to-
to his coffee?
Oh, mate.
And they're still together.
Let's go to his coffee shop and ask for a latte and give him an extradition order.
On that note, I think we're going to get out of here now. Anything you want to?
You excited for Ronaldo?
Yeah.
I just want it done now.
I'm fed up of it all now.
Yeah.
Fed up
It's
of it all.
like going on holiday, isn't it?
People flogging tickets for $2,500.
It's like going on holiday when you've been thinking about going on holiday for ages, and then now you're just like, I just want to fucking...
And you're in the airport and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I hate
Or
that.
it's the night before, and you go, I've got to get sleep because the fucking taxi's here to pick me up at 4 in the
and
morning.
you don't sleep.
And you don't sleep at all.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm always like that.
It's so much fucking effort to get on holiday.
It is.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Oh, test me. Fucking hell. Test
Exactly.
everywhere. When will they do over there?
Baggage claim.
You have to do tests when you go Old Trafford now.
Really?
Get double vaxxed up.
Fucking mental,
Fucking
that, mate.
disgrace.
Jesus Christ. I am excited about Ronaldo against Newcastle.
Is he going to score?
I was talking to Joe about this, and I said that Ronaldo, our next 3 games are the 3 teams that Ronaldo has scored the most goals for. The most goals against as a United
He
player.
scored his only hat-trick for United against Newcastle as well.
So I wonder what the odds would be on United scoring in his next, on Ronaldo scoring in the next 3 Premier League games.
I think he comes off the bench against Newcastle. That's why I'm thinking maybe you don't score that game.
I think he's gonna. I think. But who plays up front then? Greenwood.
Cavani, Greenwood, Sancho.
That sounds
Martial
good.
played well midweek for France. I think Oli might
Yeah,
play.
but he's not.
No, I know that. I'm on about what will be done because you got to think Ronaldo. Whenever I see the pictures of him, he's running on his own.
Yeah.
There's been a few where he's been playing tennis with the foot tennis.
Yeah.
But most of the pictures he's running on his own. That tells me is he even doing full training yet?
That's true. That is true.
Do you know what I
But
mean?
you've got to think that he's got to be able
I
to.
think it's Ronaldo.
This is it. Pisses me off, actually. It's been doing my fucking head in where people. So I had a mate of mine who referred to it as a vanity signing, and it pissed me off.
Yeah, it's going to look really sexy when he's holding that trophy, isn't it?
Do you know what else looks really sexy?
No.
Cameron Diaz.
Oh, I got so scared.
I'm not going to do one. I'm
Am I
professional.
censoring uncensored? I think we might have to.
I honestly, it does my head in because you look at what Ronaldo achieved literally last season, fucking tops. If you took the name Ronaldo out of it, you took the age out and went, oh, we're signing the top scorer in the Serie A who finished top scorer in a team that was fucking shit and finished fourth, you'd be like, oh, that's going to be great. But as soon as you hear 36, he's the fittest 36-year-old on the fucking planet.
I reckon his body's probably like 30 years old. Isn't it?
Mate, I reckon he's fitter than some 28-year-olds.
Remember Teddy Sheringham? He played till like 41, 42, and he was just ripped, and he was just the man, and he was laying pipe every week, and he was...
His skin was awful though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like his skin, he looked wrinkled as fuck. He looked so old and fucked up by the end of it.
Yeah.
He was like, please just let me stop.
That
This is
wasn't the
awful.
football, though. That wasn't the football.
What was
Those
it?
were the nights out there with Teddy. Oh, Teddy.
Isn't Ronaldo older than Wayne Rooney?
He's older than Cleberson. Nah, he is older than Rooney.
It's because Rooney's managing fucking Derby County, and he's still playing up front for United. It's levels.
I saw a post about that on Twitter, and then I thought it's unfair to compare anybody to the GOAT. It is unfair.
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting to compare the ages and what other greats were doing at that age. Like fucking Xavi was playing in Saudi Arabia or whatever for fucking
Hilal.
whatever.
Al Hilal. Al Ain. Those are some teams. I know that.
It does sound like you're just throwing words.
No, I swear to God, they are actual teams.
Yeah.
I haven't done a football bet in a while, but when I was in there,
Did you used to bet on Saudi Arabian teams?
Yeah, that's how bad
That's
it was.
when you know, because I was the same as well. You know, when you're up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're like,
you just doing all the Dynamo Kievs and
yeah,
all that stuff. Yeah,
or when you're up at
bad
1 a.m.
taste.
and you know that the fucking Argentinian second division starts.
Yeah, I tell you what got me off that. Playing poker.
Really? Yeah, I play a bit of poker as well. We have a comedians poker group once a week, and then we all play on Poker Stars, and then we have Zoom gigs.
Oh,
and stuff like that.
we film stuff with Poker Stars.
Do you?
We
I
do
just
keep
use the
film.
platform. There's levels.
Yeah, I mean it's not my show, so it's just like I'm just there for the ride.
How good are you? How good are you at poker?
We've done 2 in-person tournaments. I've won one of them,
Nice.
but before that we did about 6 online ones. I didn't win any of them. Got to a final or 2. But
Yeah.
I think I'm better in person. But if I was to play professionals, then it's
So
game set match.
So I played during the pandemic with other comics online. I enjoy poker. I know enough about poker to calculate pot odds and implied odds and stuff like that. I don't know the stuff after that. Like once it gets past that, I just stop caring. Do you know what I mean? It's just too much maths for me. But the problem is that some of the people that I play with are so shit that everything that I know about poker
It goes out the window.
Yeah, because I fucking raise pre-flop and then I get called and I'm like, great, okay, let's put him on a
On a
range of hands.
2-10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then the fucking board comes out 2-2-10, and I'm sat here with fucking, like
Ace
ace king, and I'm like, okay, let's fucking see this down. Let's bet the fucking flop. Let's get this. Someone goes all in. I'm like, well, they've probably not got. Yeah, let's do it. And then they see fucking 2-10 full house. And I go, what the fuck were you doing? And I'm like, poker. So yeah, man, I do like a bit of poker, but I played a local game at a local pub, and it was like, because I miss playing live. It's fun to play live. Fucking hell, man, it was like this poker league, and it was full of fucking divorced dads taking it so fucking seriously. At one point, I'm just playing this game. At one point, this guy goes, "Guys, can we be a bit quicker with the buttons?" And I was like, "You're a prick. You're a prick. Literally, can we be a bit quicker with the button?" Clicked out all of his fucking words. Who does that?
That's awful.
What a
knob.
And he knocked me out all in. I was just on tilt 'cause I hated him.
And on that note, we'll have to do an uncensored poker thing, just a little head-to-head. But keep it locked, like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out Freddy on the old TikTok and all that stuff and everywhere. Where else are you?
If we do an uncensored poker thing and I get ace 5, I don't think I'm going to be able to control myself. A 1 and a 5, innit?
See you later.